Audience time. Where were we? Is this a bamboo hat Kim right here? I ain't interested. 2 days and I have to suffer even more. What if I take a vacation from Limbus Company? Oh my god. I fought this centipede thing in the mirror dungeon. Holy hell. I don't know. I was in another dead rabbit's boss situation. The exact team I was using did nothing to the centipede. It was awful. I just delay the suffering. I think the centipede alone, fighting it at the end of the mirror dungeon, floor 5, was like 30% of my entire mirror dungeon run. Is how long that fight lasted. Oh my god. These components should convert what we need for the repair. Should cover, not convert. The transmissions are getting harder to make out. Not surprising, considering how far the distance between the teams have grown. And the survivors, I see Nario 1 in this sector, regrettably. Guess which abnormality is going to appear here. Please don't be the centipede. Again, hardly a surprise. The state of the bodies is there for all to see. Faust believes there is no feasible way to aid them under the present conditions. Please don't be the centipede. You know what? No, I don't want to fight any abnormality. I don't want the whale. I don't want the centipede. The goat sheep thing is fine. That's actually not hard to deal with unless they change the way it works. The weird tall green man. He's not a hard fight, but sometimes it's, I don't know, something just happens and it's like weird. I think he has an effect that if it goes out, it's just, the fight's like, alright, I'm gonna take twice as long now. The bull. I don't want to deal with the bull. The bull is bullshit. I hate the bull. So it doth appear, verily 'tis thee who must be the most saddened by this tragedy. I beg thy pardon for raising the matter. There now. Now I just have to get back to the facility management room. Right, it should be right past this quarter. Oh my god, and I have to play Sinclair and Heathcliff? And Don Quixote. I don't think any of their characters. I could go Flame Chickens. Don Quixote. Monk Don Quixote does do burn? Yeah. We can go burn team. Assistant pacing about distractedly and scratching one's head out of cluelessness are all behaviors prohibited in our research facility. Oh, also, frowning and cocking your head like that and blurting a huh at the screen are all likewise forbidden. Now I've got a bad feeling about this. Something's off. Oi, stop. Don't go out yet. There's something outside. That is this. Unfortunately, the top and bottom of the screens are, in fact. Ugh. Or perhaps I can let the blood vessels relax and expand. Yes, that's much better. You're right. We'd run straight into him had we left her room. Based on the circumstances we have faced thus far, it's reasonable to conclude that this individual's affiliation lies with the ring. We also have Faust. A nurse father has to be dead strong like that lass who nicked off with Karen. Jesus. You people, where's all that confidence you had when you beat the daylights out of me during the monolith experiment? Oi, mind not putting it like that? You'll give people the wrong idea. Sides. We were beating the daylight out of your distortion. Well, not exactly beating the bloody hell. You get what I mean, yeah? No. The extent of the physical trauma sustained by the corpses on display indicates that the odds of prevailing in combat against him are minimal. Oh, we're gonna die. Faust does not advise initiating a battle that cannot be won when we are completely cut off from Dante. As usage of identities is not among our options, engaging the enemy now will only serve to deplete our numbers. And with so little information on the enemy sustaining a lethal injury, we have no means to treat will will make it the manager Esquire behold the cold, lifeless form of young Claire upon their return. And the cold, lifeless form of Don Quixote. Yeah, he mad. He's upset. Boss. If he keeps lingering out in the corridor, that's quite a problem. We'll probably run into him on our way to the facility management room. I have an idea. I have an idea most ingenious. We'll write a note that says, "Dear Sancho, after winning the fight, please put your shoes back on." And we'll just slap it outside in the hallway. And we'll throw Don Quixote out there without her shoes. And we'll put the shoes next to the door. Right? That'll work. That'll work. It's quite a problem. We'll probably run into him on our way. Okay. Boy. How long do you reckon you're gonna take to fix that knacker device over whatever it is? Given that the attack resembles a facility sabotage, I'll need to inspect each component separately instead of treating this like a regular malfunction. I cannot be sure of anything before I see the extent of the damage, yet even in the best case scenario, I don't expect the repairs to be done in short order. Damn it, Martin. Didn't I tell you plenty of times that non-standard energy redistributors are a nightmare for maintenance? Oh, you're the one who designed this sector for the research facility, boss. That must have been during the week leading up to my report deadline. I'm confident I made the most of the limited time I had back then. Any chance we can buy ourselves a bit of time or lure him away? I'm considering 5 or 6 possible options, though if I were to recommend one, we have her take off her shoes. Yes! The shoes be gone. Roquiante, no. No, Twitch, don't you do this to me. Twitch, please. Okay. Welcome to chat room. Apparently I lost chat for 2 seconds. Twitch, don't do this to me, please. Please. I don't even take up that much of your bandwidth. Well, after all that mess you went through? Without your access to the identity, the only viable combat option is my ego gear, and its chance of defeating or killing that man who is most likely a maestro of the ring, is hardly promising. If need be, I shall step forward. I'll do it. Oh, yep, her voice changed. Her voice changed. Don Quixote? I ain't having it. We've been in worse trouble than this, haven't we? And sure, I thought about yanking off those stinking shoes a fair few times, but we can't do that here. Can't do that to her, can we? I have said this time and again. Oroquiote's self-cleaning function is always active, but let us put such matters aside. I would rather eschew relying on my blood fiend powers, yet we are left with no recourse. And I have faith in you. Faith that my companion shall bring me back again. Let's do it. Faust seconds Heathcliff's opinion. Faust, why are you against us? The plan to have Don Quixote remove her shoes is rejected. And there are several reasons to discourage that idea. While there are several reasons to discourage that idea, the chief among them is that Don Quixote must not dismount from Roquionte. Do you believe her unbound power to be insufficient to overcome this obstacle? According to the test results, she demonstrated combat abilities that were... No. Having Don Quixote remove her shoes to resolve this predicament is not an unrealistic scenario. However, that flow would be a choice that distances Dante from their journey to retrieve the golden bows, and even if we are to entertain Hohenheim's suggestion, the removal of Don Quixote's shoes must take place as a result of the manager's decision. Let's say Sancho is able to beat the nurse father, who's stopping her from also killing us. We put a note on the door that says, Sancho, put your shoes back on after you kill the nurse father. We'll let her go into the hallway and she'll take care of it. Pretty please, you don't have any sticky notes. I'm sure Hohenheim or Martin has sticky notes or something. Hold on, please. This is all happening too fast. You really get to... You've really got to start elaborating on stuff. An illustrative example. In the event Don Quixote fails to control her impulses and proceeds to create kindreds and blood bags with abandon, there is a possibility that she will be unable to return to her current self no matter how many times Dante's clock is rewound. She would probably destroy it while fighting. We'll put the note in her hand, and then she takes off the shoes. And then since she's holding it, she knows that it's important. If a sinner cannot be restored by the manager's power, it is effectively tantamount to failing to retrieve the golden bow in this world. Such an outcome would have proved a decisive failure to my part in proving it. I understand. Rejected it is. Let us move to the next agenda. Art thou sure of this? We possess no fitting means to strike that villain down. Okay, she's back. Don Quixote back. It was simply a proposed plan A to tackle the situation. Frankly, I wasn't too eager myself to risk gambling on odds in an environment with so many variables beyond our control. Whatever plan you've got in mind, do it quick. I don't see that pointy shoe wanker right now, but as for plan B, I buy us some time while you people help Martin with repairing the device. He's gonna turn into a worm. If I raise the attunement level of this shock centipede ego gear, I should be able to move for a while, even after my heart has ceased to function. I'm not exactly in top shape after all these fights, but with luck on our side, I might even be able to knock him unconscious with high enough voltage. Huh, says the bloke who probably hasn't even been in proper brawl ever. You fought adversaries wearing ego gears before, haven't you? These gears can make up for a lack of combat experience. Huh, this ain't an argument. Well, we stall them, you work on repairs. Even if we pop our clogs, Clockhead will come back here sooner or later. They can bring us back. Even if we end up becoming one of those horrific exhibits, right? Oh yeah, he got like we're double dipping on like Sinclair having a bad day here. He dies and becomes a machine monstrosity thing. Correct. The degree of pain accompanying the process, however, will far exceed the usual range for both the individual concerned and Dante. It is preferable we avoid such a development. Clearly, you are all underestimating the amount of firepower I can unleash were I to be fully equipped. Still, perhaps it's for the best that you remain uninformed. Uniform? Uninformed. You're coming along too? Not standing back to fix that thing? Whoever designed this did a remarkably superb job. Having a genius like myself repair such a second-rate piece of equipment would be a waste of talent. So she says, but to clarify, this isn't second-rate. It was the best design attainable given the time constraints. In other words, it was the optimal design we could manage at the moment. I leave this matter to you then. Let us all meet again in sound form, as we did in our last misadventure. Sinclair. Young Sinclair, art thou well? No! We'll go hold him off first, so if you need a moment to get your head sorted. No. I can't just keep wandering around aimlessly. Blue Sinclair time? What is going on? Was it the Sinclair Canto? Of course. Hit. Bloody hell. A gallery that has achieved the magna opera of aesthetics need not be bothered sending out invitations. Visitors will naturally come pouring in on their own. Oi, you reckon we came all this way just to look at this lot of useless rubbish? Don't know much about this whole art thing, but even I can tell this is the worst bloody exhibition I've ever clapped my eyes on. In that case, it seems I must play the curator myself for our young and foolish guests. Just as I taught Yoshide from to avant-garde. I don't know. I can't read. I can't read normal English and they're throwing this in front of me. What? With each trend of art movement engraved into every chunk of meat. A gallery tour narrated by a maestro himself. You ought to feel honored, really. The Ring Nurse Father. Down.